Hi guys, welcome to Hoops Junction. Today we're doing our Eastern Conference 2016-2017 preview. I'm going to go through a couple of teams. I'm going to tell you who to watch for, who to ignore. Basically just give you a rundown of how I foresee the season going and just give you a couple little highlights in here and there. So let's start out with the Cleveland Cavaliers. They're back intact. Only thing that they lost is Dellavedova, Mo Williams, which is they're shopping around. They're coming back. Kyrie Irving's healthy. LeBron James, Kevin Love, everybody's healthy. J.R. Smith signed his deal, 4 years, $57 million. I look for them to go straight back to the Eastern Conference Finals. I really don't see any big hiccups in the road unless it's their bench, where their bench is kind of mediocre because they got rid of Mozgov, who was hurt. They brought in Anderson. So Anderson's older gentleman now. He's not like how he used to be. And then they have Jefferson still older. I think they still have Channing Frye, which is fine. So they still have, the basic thing is as long as they have their core, they're intact. Their big three, they can work around anything else because they've won together. They overcame a big deficit together. They know what to do, how to handle it. So moving on. Now, I'm not going to go each team, but I'm going to give you a couple teams that I think you should watch out for, or I feel like they didn't make any progress. So the Toronto Raptors, they just didn't make enough progress. They're the same team, and unfortunately, like Chris Webber alluded to, he said that they don't pass well together, they don't defend well together. It's a bunch of hero ball, and that's true. And I think that this year, although they didn't achieve much on offseason, they're going to mature with their playmaking and play calling. I think it's going to be much better. I think it's going to be better suited for them. They're going to know what to do, when to do it a little bit better. Valanciunas is healthy. That's something else. See, the thing is, you got to understand health plays a big role, especially for young teams. When young teams, somebody gets injured, it's like really tough for them to bounce back. You know, an older team, they can make up for it. But, you know, especially with the Cavs, they had the series tied 2-2. And they just couldn't bring Valanciunas to play back, and that kind of hurt them a little bit. And then when he finally could play a little, it just didn't make a big difference. So they didn't make much progress. Now, the team they competed with in the first round, Indiana Pacers, they're going to be a problem. You got to watch out for that team. They have Paul George, Al Jefferson. They got rid of George Hill, Mr. Turnover Machine, and they got Jeff Teague, which is a speedy point guard. He can get easy baskets, so it takes pressure off Paul George. Plus, Jeff Teague doesn't turn over the ball as much as George Hill did. Now you got Al Jefferson, low post threat. So remember, they had Hibbert and West. Now they have a player who can handle himself defensively and can score the ball offensively. You already know Al Jefferson, he's in that paint, baby. Get a can of paint, and then that's it. He's painting you up. So I look for them to have a great season, man. They still have Miles Turner. They have Monte Ellis still. Monte Ellis is a good player. A lot of people hate on Monte, but that's far from that. You should never do that because if you don't recall, Monte Ellis was the face of the Golden State Warriors once upon a time, and he's a great player. He's matured a great deal. In Dallas, he had a tremendous season. This season in Indiana, he didn't have such a great season. He was still trying to get in and fit in, but a young player in Monte Ellis. You still have Paul George. Then you have Jeff Teague. And, I mean, they are a team to reckon with. Nobody's really talking about them, and that's dangerous because they could very well end up in the Eastern Conference Finals. Speaking of Eastern Conference Finals, the team that I think is a sleeper team in the East is New York Knicks. Like, everybody's been talking about how Carmelo's garbage. They don't think that he can win. They don't see him as a team player, yada, yada, yada. Look, this is the first time in a long time Carmelo has actually had some good help. All right, if you want to think about this, the last 2 seasons Carmelo had help it was like 2012, 2013 with the New York Knicks. Like, they had Jason Kidd, they had Rasheed Wallace. They were raining threes. They got to the NBA, they got to the playoffs. They played the Heat. They could not hit a three. They could not hit anything. Jason Kidd, all of a sudden, his age showed. It was crazy. That season, Carmelo was averaging, I want to say he was averaging like 27 or 28 and 10. Now, if you want to go back to the Denver Nuggets days, when they went to the Western Conference Finals, 2009, 2010 season, Carmelo was averaging 27, 28, and 10. He had Chauncey Billups, which was great. Missed the big shot, of course. Kenyon Martin, defensive end. They had J.R. Smith as a shooter, so he had like help. And where do they go? Western Conference Finals. Knicks, he had help. They had a good season. They won like 50-some-odd games. Where did they go? They went to the first-round playoffs and got beat. So, all the other seasons in between, it's not like Carmelo has had like the best stellar help. I mean, they tried to pair him up with Allen Iverson. That didn't work, of course. Then he went to the Knicks. They got rid of everybody. So then that was like a rebuild mode. But they got Jason Kidd. That worked for a season. Then they had to rebuild again. Fired the coach. He hasn't had like a consistent coach in the past 5 years because they got D'Antoni, then they got Fisher, now they got Hornacek. So all that plays a role. So that being said, now I expect the New York Knicks, and I know this might like maybe because I'm originally from New York, or I'll just when you're in the East Coast. No matter how bad you hate a team or whatever, like there's certain teams you want. You want the Knicks to do good. You want the Giants to do good. You want the Patriots, even if you hate the Patriots, like they hate you or whatever. Like you want somebody from the East representing, and the Northeast, so to speak. You don't want all of this. You don't want all these teams on all the other coasts or whatever. And I'm a Laker fan, but deep down I still got some love for the Knicks. I think they can go to the Eastern Conference Finals. They have Melo, who can score. He can just flat out score. Let's just say he's the only thing he has to do is score. You have Derrick Rose, who could defend the point and assist. You have Joakim Noah, who could defend and rebound. Then you have Kristaps Porzingis, young talent. See what I'm saying? Like a team that is poised to go to the Eastern Conference Finals, they're supposed to have a few things. Youth. They're supposed to have a superstar. They're supposed to have a balanced team. I feel like besides their bench, they're a balanced team. Now, coming off the bench, they have Brandon Jennings, and other than that, they don't have really much of a bench. But I feel like with Melo and with all that help, they could give Toronto a run for their money. They could damn sure give Indiana a run for their money. They could give any team a run for their money. Besides, I think the Cleveland Cavaliers. If they face the Cleveland Cavaliers first round or whatever, they will get eliminated because LeBron is focused. He's trying to get back to the finals again and repeat and show that wasn't a fluke. But the Knicks are a team to be reckoned with. I think the way that they do it though, they have to defend, and Hornacek has to get them to buy into defending because if they can defend really really well, they'll be fine. Another team that I think is going to do great in the East is the Bulls. Although I think they're going to do well, but I simply think that Dwayne Wade, I don't know if his body will be able to keep up. Last season, he had a great season. I'm not hating on the boy, but they're going to expect a lot from him in Chicago. So I don't know if that's going to work out. But Jimmy Butler still got him. Rondo still got him. The thing I like about their team, they have great passers. Like Wade can pass. Rondo can pass. Butler can pass. Robin Lopez. They have all good passers. And that's going to lead to a lot of assists and a lot of ball movement. Now, do they buy into the system? Fred Hoiberg, he has to play his young guys more. They have to buy into the system. They have to defend. One of the issues is just like they didn't believe in that offensive system, and that hurt them. That really hurt them because offensively, when you're not playing great, you don't want to get back on defense. You give up a lot of scores on defense. So we'll see. I like the Bulls as well. I think they're pretty good. So if I had to say, like, let's just say Eastern Conference Finals, either Cavs and Pacers or Cavs and Knicks. I know Cavs are going to be in there somewhere, barring injury. And that could very well happen. LeBron has not had an injury his entire career. The most he's had is cramps, which is a testament to his durability and just how he takes care of his body. So if somebody gets hurt on the Cavs, they can make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, but they're not winning the championship. You know what I'm saying? And even if they're healthy, they still could not win a championship. So, because last year, let's just call a spade, even though they had a miraculous comeback, if a few things don't fall the way that they fall, they don't win. You know what I'm saying? You can say the same thing about the Warriors a couple years ago. A few things don't fall, they don't win. But the thing is, here's the difference. And this is for me too. This is how I feel about the whole thing. Warriors blew a 3-1 lead this past year. Cavs blew a 2-1 lead when they had the Warriors up 2-1. LeBron was beasting, and Game 4 was on their home floor. LeBron had 20 points. Like, that killed it right there, because if they go up 3-1 with no Love, no Curry, with Kyrie, nobody can say anything about LeBron. I mean, nobody can say anything about LeBron now, but I'm just saying, like, think about that. If they would have went up 3-1 and won a championship that year and then won again this year, that's just, like, crazy. So it's like they want to make it a trilogy series. The NBA, they faltered, and they really hurt the game. They turned it into like a WWF instead of like watching good basketball. Like the finals, we didn't get great basketball, and that hurt. But that's another story for another time. Eastern Conference Final is gonna be beastly. Like, even the Hawks got just a little bit better, you know, I don't really like what they have. But if you think about it, Millsap, Howard, and then you have George Hill, and then they have Schroeder, so that's good. They have a nucleus. Then you have the Boston Celtics. That's another sleeper team. They could do damage. Isaiah Thomas, Al Horford, Crowder. I think. Oh my God, they have that young talent. They have a young defender. I can't remember his name off the top. He's short, about 6'4". He could defend really well. They have a great team as well. So it's gonna be interesting in the East. The East is not gonna be easy. It's not gonna be a cakewalk for the Cavs. They're gonna have some six-game series, some 7-game series. I think they're gonna have some. Even though they've been together long enough, I think they're gonna have a tough way to get out the East. I think the East is gonna be good. It's gonna be good because I'm on the East Coast, and I hate having to stay up for the late games because all the first games are corny. Like, most of the games that we watch the past couple seasons on the East Coast have been terrible. This season, with the recomposition of the league, is going to be awesome. So Eastern Conference Finals is going to be, Eastern Conference period is going to be great to watch. I hope you enjoy it. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your picks are. Let me know what team I didn't mention or what team do you agree with or disagree with. This is Vlad from Hoops Junction, where hoops meets hoopla. Peace.